All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media. My name is Judson Powell. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Please hit the share button. Please hit all the buttons for me. Little somber this morning. I looked at the video with Ahmaud Arbery. That's the young man that was gunned down by the two white supremacist murderers in Georgia, in Brunswick, Georgia. And I'm making, I'm not holding back anything. Basically they're murderers. If you looked at that video, there's no reason why those two guys should not be in custody, father and son. They're out there hunting people. I mean, basically they hunted that man down. This is completely unacceptable. Completely, 100% unacceptable. And people, at first, when I first read the story a couple of days ago, it was like, they were trying to, kind of classify it as another Trayvon Martin situation where, where he was doing something suspicious or whatever. Not the case at all. Not the case at all. And I think that, even in the Trayvon Martin case, never the case. It's like these white supremacist predators, white nationalist predators are out there just doing whatever they want. And also I posted other things on my Facebook timeline basically showing like there was another case with a little girl, an officer pinning a little girl down, supposedly because she didn't have on a mask or she wasn't practicing proper social distancing and all of that kind of stuff. Plus these white nationalists, they're going to Capitol buildings armed. Because of the quarantine. Why do you need to be armed because of the quarantine? Why is that necessary that when you show up at a Capitol building that you have guns, that you have automatic assault rifles and all of that kind of stuff? What's the deal? But as soon as then we know. I also posted there was a black man in an open carry state, and as soon as officers saw him with a gun, even though he didn't draw the gun, he wasn't using the gun or anything like that, they arrested him, put him flat on his face on the ground, and he wasn't doing anything. So we understand, we understand white supremacy, and that's why I posted on my timeline, our great ancestor Francis Cress Welsing. That's why I do what I do, because we have to understand white supremacy and white nationalism and what's going on. And once again, and just to throw this caveat in there, we don't hate white people, we hate racist white people, and maybe we don't even hate them because we're always forgiving them. But the fact of the matter is that all of this white supremacy stuff is ridiculous, and the fact that our president perpetuates it and allows it to go on by accepting things like endorsements from the KKK and from other groups that are subversive and that are basically terrorists. And these groups have been labeled by the federal government as terrorist organizations. But yet and still, they're allowed to operate with impunity throughout our society. And nobody says anything to them. Nothing is done to them. Just like there's no reason why these two white boys should not be in custody, for killing Mr. Arbery. There's absolutely no reason they should be in custody. They are murderers. They are walking around on the street, murderers. And you can't tell me that and all of the crimes and the atrocities that have been committed by white men and white women in this society, they're the ones that should be treated, with that disdain, by police enforcement agencies. But why are we treated that way when we don't do anything? The only thing that you could say is it's our skin color, you know. And then think about it. Now all of a sudden, since all of this stuff is going down, it's like it seems like the cases of police brutality, all that kind of stuff is ratcheting up again. Remember, and the last time it ratcheted up was right before what? Before the last election. Before the last presidential election. I remember because I was talking about it, and I kept talking about it and talking about it, and I was like, once again, I was being called a conspiracy theorist. But y'all, it's no conspiracy. These people are dead. You know, these people are, you know, they're killing people. And right now, and I'm going to do another post later on about the coronavirus thing, this whole thing, you know, we're getting all these people. We got people committing suicide. We got doctors and nurses committing suicide because they're seeing what is going on. You know, in fact, I'll talk about it a little bit now. Because of what we see going on, that they're not treating, you know, it's not that these people have coronavirus. In fact, most of them don't have coronavirus. As a matter of fact, most of them go in asymptomatic to coronavirus. They have other symptoms of other diseases. But but in order to be able to eradicate them from the face of the earth, what do we say? Oh, that's why the whole pre-existing conditions. Oh, he had something. He already had a pre-existing condition. It's genocide. It's murder. It's trying to destroy the black race because they're afraid. It is just like, you know, just like our old friends, you know, Flavor Flav and Chuck D. It's a fear of a black planet. They're afraid that they're going to become extinct. That's what the agenda is. So the depopulation agenda is real. You know, and people are dying. Yeah, it's real. But are they dying? Are they really dying from coronavirus, or are they dying because they had some symptoms and they went into the hospital and somebody killed them? Just like I was trying to tell people, like when it first came out, I started telling people about the ventilators, and they tried to use that. They were like, you know, Trump is on there. Well, we have a joint task force between General Motors and Ford Motor Company that we're going to build more ventilators. But then when people started saying, well, everybody that goes on the ventilator is dying, which meant that what? Because it's a viral, everybody doesn't realize these things are viral infections. They're viral. They're viruses. And the only way that you can get rid of a virus is if your body fights it off. Your immune system has to be able to fight it off. There's no vaccine. That's the other thing. And now, you know, like I said, they got these states coming forth talking about, oh, you're going to have to take mandatory vaccines and there's no religious exception. How can they force me to put a needle into my arm? They're just trying to kill us. That's all this is about. They're trying to kill us. And why, you know, and all these people in Africa were supposed to die, and I'm sure they probably figured out a way. You know, now they got the murder hornets or whatever, and I'm just like, well, kill the damn murder hornets. They big, you can see them. I know y'all got something y'all can spray on they big ass and kill them. Come on, y'all, for real. You know, I just need, and then everybody's talking about, and the other thing is, if we don't open the country, who you think is gonna reap the brunt of all of the bad stuff that's gonna happen once the country does reopen after all that time? Ain't no money. Who you think gonna get laid off? They're already almost, I think it's like 28 million new unemployment claims already in the hopper, already been filed. There are literally thousands of businesses that are closed down and never to reopen again. So who's gonna reap the brunt of the unemployment? It's gonna be black folks. It ain't gonna. That's why I say they already stole the money. This is all about depopulating black people from the face of the earth. They want to eradicate us from the face of the earth. That's what it's about. That's how come they don't. Now you're gonna tell me, if me and my son got in our pickup truck and went and gunned down an innocent white boy jogging, what do you think would have happened to me and my son by this morning? There's no way in the world. There's no way in the world. You know, and if you don't question these things, and if you don't wake up and realize exactly what's going on, I mean, it's uncanny. And everybody, and the fact of the matter is, and then we got so many black folks that are like trusting the government, or, you know, and they got us, everything is fearful. You know, social distancing is not good for you. Masks are not good for you. You're a social, people are social beings. You know, like I was saying on another post one day, it's like, you know, this one girl said, damn, I just need a hug. Like, I don't, you know, that would make me feel better. That would make my health better, just to get a hug. You see what I'm saying? So all of these things, isolation, distancing people from one another, all of this stuff is designed to bother your mind. And then when you go back to work, they got people fearful of going back to work, so you won't go back. And if you don't go back, you have no job. And most of these states are what? They're right to work states. They can fire you at any time for any reason. They don't have to follow any law, because what? Because the Republicans have deregulated everything. Wake up. And the worst thing, and I know everybody gets mad at us about that, but religion, that's the worst thing. You know, because that's how they control you, because their God is your God. You're worshiping their God. And you already know. I mean, okay, because I'm just saying, if Jesus is coming back, he need to come back now, because it's like real. It's real in the streets, y'all. And they gunning down. These people went and they gunned an innocent man down, and they're not in jail. They gunned down an innocent black man, a good man from all accounts. He ain't no criminal. He ain't in no trouble. He ain't no deadbeat, none of that. All the stuff they try to say we are, he's none of that. So where are we? So where are we? And then talking about, oh, well, opening the country back up is a death sentence. You know, keeping the country closed is a death sentence too. Look, since quarantine began, the deaths have gone like from a couple hundred to like thousands. And that's under quarantine. That's since we've been in quarantine. But most of those people don't have coronavirus. And most of them, that's why I keep telling you, get your body together. Get your immune system together. All the stuff that they trying to send at us and all this kind of stuff, all this stuff was made, it was made in labs. It was made in laboratories. By people. And that's why I say, don't trust Fauci, don't trust Bill Gates, don't trust Trump, don't trust Britt. None of those people that are in that administration, don't trust them. You know why? Because they developed this stuff to kill you. So once it's in your body and you can't fight it off, and once again, pre-existing conditions, what? Obamacare. And we all know Trump is obsessed with Obama and his success. We know that. In fact, we know that all white nationalists are obsessed with it. Why? Because it makes white supremacy look bad. Because a black man was able to come up and devise something that they weren't. And that's why they have to gun down innocent black men running down the street, just trying to keep his body strong and healthy. So fug them. That's all I got to say. And everybody who's a white nationalist or a white supremacist, fuck you. All right? Anyway, Fastest 15 minutes is up. My name is Judson Powell. Like button, subscribe button, hit the buttons. I love you.